Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. So since the price of Bitcoin here in a daily time frame is clearly flashing us that the bulls are slowly taking control over the market, what kind of scenario should we expect playing out next for Bitcoin? Because if you look at this in a daily time frame, we were calling this exact scenario to happen for Bitcoin, because in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever we have seen this moving averages crossover happening, this green line, which is the 20 exponential moving average, crossing above this 50 exponential moving average, and at the same time when we have seen this MACD line in a positive territory and also forming this bullish MACD cross, RSI line over 50 level, and also at the same time the T3 CCI in a positive territory. If we are going to see confirmation from these four different indicators, right, then this trend here is slowly likely to reverse here to the upside, and this exact scenario is happening right now with Bitcoin, because these indicators are clearly showing that the bulls are slowly now taking control over the market. And also after this bullish crossover in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever we have seen this bullish crossover happening, right, the price was always getting gravitated towards the moving averages where it found support and started again moving here in this manner. So this is also actually indicating as long as the indicators are still in favor of bulls, the price of Bitcoin could still continue here to the upper direction. And not just only this, also this one distribution phase from Y curves is going to be invalid now, because according to the Y curve, when the price was forming this one scenario here, you can see reaccumulation phase, distribution phase, and redistribution phase. So when the price of Bitcoin was forming this scenario here, which looked like a redistribution phase, it surprised everyone when the price found a really nice bounce of this 30,000 range. And if you have watched my video from yesterday in a weekly time frame, we were aware the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level has always been a very strong line of support, and exactly it was also around 30,000. So whenever we have seen a proper support at this 1.618 in a weekly time frame, the price of Bitcoin has always showed some really nice impulsive movement, and this is also now turning more of a accumulation phase rather than distribution phase, indicating that this here now is slowly getting invalidated, because we can clearly see the bulls are slowly taking over the market. And not just only that, we also talked about this bump and run reversal playing out for Bitcoin, and when the price was below this 40,000 range, we were saying that any sort of a price movement, what it must do, it must first break out of this horizontal line lying in between 41 to 42,000 range, because this line here was very strong line of resistance. And not just only that, also this falling trend line, this yellow line from this bump and run reversal, was actually acting as a resistance. So we said if this resistance line is going to be flipped as a support, then this is going to be a free run for Bitcoin. And now looking at the price action, you can see this exact scenario could be playing out for Bitcoin. So any sort of a pullback, be aware guys, the same line which previously acted as a resistance, right, could be actually acting as a strong line of support if you would see any sort of a retracement around this 41 to 42,000 price range, because once the proper support was made, we started this new move here to the upside. So this exact scenario could be also playing out for Bitcoin, because now according to this bump and run, we will be focusing more on this successful bump and run reversal playing out for Bitcoin. So according to this successful, you can see after this breakout, there could be a pullback towards this resistance line, turning this resistance line into support, and then starting this uphill run for Bitcoin. So let's hope this successful bump and run reversal to play out for Bitcoin. And not just only this guys, I am actually also going to talk about this one interesting indicator again in my video, which is the CPI indicator. If you are aware, this CPI indicator is a leading indicator which provides us with information beforehand, because if you have watched my video when the CPI line was placed from this 1st of August, right? So if we go back here, let me show you from 1st of August, when the price of Bitcoin was approaching this 1st of August, we said the CPI line was already been placed, right? And according to the CPI line, this was a VCPI. VCPI is when the price moves without touching the CPI line. And also in most of the cases, since this is a VCPI, the price always gets gravitated towards the CPI line before again choosing this move here to the upside, because in the uptrend, right, the CPI lines are going to act as a support, and in a downtrend like this here, the CPI lines are going to act as a resistance and not let the price to break to the upside, right? So but in our case, since this August was a ascending CPI, now this CPI lines could be actually acting as a support. And since this was also a VCPR, we were actually expecting more of a price pullback to happen for Bitcoin around the CPR line, find support, and again continue here in this manner. And now if we look at this price structure here, if I play this scenario, you can see the price came exactly at the top CPR line. Once we broke this support line, we came towards this central CPR line, and I made that very clear that among the CPR line, the central CPR line is going to be one of the strongest line of support. And when the price of Bitcoin had this pullback, you can see exactly after reaching the CPR line, the central CPR line, we found the support. We also saw some relief rally after that, you can see, but the top CPR line acted as a resistance, again a pullback type of scenario. But exactly when the price reached the central CPR line here, you can see we did got a very strong support, and after that you can see we started this new move here to the upside. So according to the CPR line right now, if we look at this price structure, since this is an ascending CPR, there is a very high probability of price to at least come towards this monthly R1 line, which is sitting around $46,173. So right now for me, this is where we might be getting gravitated, this $46,173 area. So why this $46,173? Because if we look here, if we go back here, let me change this into daily time frame just to show you guys, right? So you can see if we follow the CPI indicators, when the trend is heading in an upper direction, the CPI lines are also actually acting as a support, and is also an ascending CPR. So as long as the CPR were ascending CPR, the price was also following this uptrend. But once the price started this downtrend, the CPR line also started to form this descending CPR, right? But now, since the August CPR is higher than the previous month CPR, this is an indication the trend might see some changes, and this exact changes is also being witnessed right now with price action on Bitcoin. And many are also asking me which indicator I'm using, right? Let me show you the CPI indicator I'm using. If you type CPI in the search box, you will see the one I'm using is from Gomati Shankar with 4,825 likes. If you click on this one, this is what is going to appear. It might look somehow like this in your chart. The one I'm actually using here is the monthly pivot line. So deselect everything and only place the monthly pivot line. So it's easier for you and also know exactly what I'm actually talking about. You can add different resistance line, because according to this August month, if this is going to get broken, then we do have another price target. But for now, I'm going to stick around this 46,000 as our potential target. And also one scenario I want to add in today's video, even though this CPI indicating the bulls are taking control over the market and price here could be getting gravitated towards this monthly R1 line, what has also happened in the past Bitcoin price action, after reaching this monthly R1 line, the price of Bitcoin in most of the cases, even though the bulls were in control, has seen a pullback again towards the monthly CPI line, and again started this move here in this manner. So right now, what I'm actually trying to show you here is that you can see from April month, we came and touched the monthly R1 line before seeing this pullback type of scenario. Again, for the next month, the May month, the R1 line was tested. After reaching the monthly R1 line, price got a pullback towards the top CPI line, again from support, started this move. Here you can see, came at the monthly R1 line, reached the monthly R1 line, after that a pullback towards the CPI line. So this scenario could also be actually playing out here. So that's why what we are actually expecting here is that if we do get opportunity to test this monthly R1 line sitting around 46,139, we will be monitoring the price movement after reaching this area. Because if this is going to show any sort of rejection, then we are aware. In the past Bitcoin price action, even though the next month CPR was more of an ascending CPR, price saw some sort of a pullback towards this monthly CPR line, the top CPR line, again started this move here in this manner. So these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.